Happy Camper Radio starts in 3, 2, 1. We are back once again and just a few days away from Turkey Day. Hey, Daniel.
Hi, Skip.
You got your turkey all ready, or did your wife? Your wife doing the cooking, or are you?
Betty Crocker's doing the cooking. I don't know what you're talking about. We're coming over here, Skip. It's a happy camper Thanksgiving. It's a Thanksgiving miracle.
Well, it won't be the first time you were in my refrigerator and ate my food.
Okay. That's just for adult beverages.
But anyway, some of us are going to be blessed with having a couple days off this week.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Good for you.
You, on the other hand,
Aren't.
aside from Thanksgiving Day, have got to get your rest because I know Friday, it's all hands on deck for the Postal Authority, isn't it?
It's not that big as a day. I think mid-December, December like 13th, 14th, 15th, those are the biggest days because that's like the deadline right before Christmas. They've got to buy their stuff first, Skip, then they can send it out through us.
Well,
But
Daniel,
that's when it begins, though.
we've got a lot to talk about on the show today, and we have with us, joining us very momentarily, is Gary Sizer.
Ooh.
Yes, who hiked the Appalachian Trail.
Yep.
And his new book is out.
It is,
And
and,
he is
I'm
here
reading
to-
it, and it's awesome.
Yes, and he is here to talk with us about it on today's show. Our phone number here at Happy Camper Radio is 404-537-2267, 404-537-CAMP. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and now subscribe to our new YouTube channel. So many ways you can connect up. Go to www.happycamperradio.com and click on any one of the icons located on the right-hand side of the homepage. You'll find them all right there. Do that and you're good to go. Take the studio tour, see what we've got to offer here in the studio, what we do behind the scenes. And also check out our brand new Stitcher player right there on the homepage. Daniel.
Yes.
Let's head over to the shout-out window. Okay, here we go. We've got a few folks here we want to say hello to. First of all, to David Forge, who likes us on Facebook, Eco Camp Glenshie in Scotland, Monica Ortega in Los Angeles, California, Social Max of Morgan City, Louisiana. They're following us on Twitter. BB Begonia of Winnipeg, glamping.com.
Ooh,
and
my favorite.
Sura Safajiva in Moscow. They've added us to Circles this past week on Google+. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Glad to have you with us, and thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Okay, Daniel.
Yeah.
Please tell me.
Okay.
I know you're working.
I am working.
So I've got to ask it anyhow because I know it's your style.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't tell me you're not going to go camping in front of one of these department stores Thanksgiving night to try to get a big deal.
Look, I
on some
only
electronic equipment or any other pieces of stuff that you buy that I would never even lay my hands on.
First of all, you have more electronics in your house than me. And second of all, I only camp at a pop-up. Or I might camp in a tent when I start hiking the Appalachian Trail, thanks to Gary's awesome book.
I can't believe some people still go as far to save a few bucks and they put off a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner with family.
It's tradition.
To set up their little tent outside of a big box store, trying to be the first one to get in line, only to get in that store, Daniel, and have to fight the crowd, get trampled on, and stand the possibility of somebody grabbing that item out of their hand.
It's the thrill.
Daniel,
it's the thrill.
it's a madhouse.
It's all about the thrill.
No,
I think it's kind of fun,
Daniel,
actually.
I really think it's
You kind of got me pumped.
I think it's too commercialized these days. But you know something? There are a lot of great deals to be had. And you can do this right from the comforts of your very own home.
Yeah.
I have supported this for the past couple years. I do all my holiday shopping, what little shopping I have to do.
Right.
I'll do it online.
Right.
Now, granted, my daughters, I give them cash.
Wow.
And
Can I be your daughter?
They never, Daniel, they have never asked me to take it back and trade it in for something else. Well, Daniel, it works.
It does.
It works. It
you
really
can do
does,
anything with cash.
Exactly. So you never have to worry about that. All right. But on the other hand, when I go to the online stores to buy stuff, I can find very good deals there too. Now,
Yeah.
here's something else I want to bring up. I went to a website this week, and I can't remember it at the top of my head, but I probably will. Yes, I do. It's blackfriday.com.
Okay.
Do you know
I've heard of it.
Daniel, do you know there are a lot of people that are very upset with some of these stores that are now opening Thanksgiving night?
Yeah.
Or
I think
Thanksgiving
Walmart
afternoon.
is at 6 o'clock on Thursday.
Okay.
I think they're opening up.
And there are some other stores out there too. Well, I was reading some of the comments that were written by people. A lot of folks are very upset about this. Now, granted, we're here to talk about camping, but there are some of the big box camping stores that are going to be open Thanksgiving Day. They have now changed their policy, and they decided, well, we're going to get a jump on the competition just like everybody else. And some of them are going to be open. Some of these big box camping stores are going to be closed. And some of the people were saying, well, you know, if you're going to open up on Thanksgiving Day and you're going to deprive a lot of your employees the opportunity to sit down with family and friends, I'm not going to shop at your business.
Yeah.
And Daniel, that is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. You know, if you have a job, you've got to understand that your schedule could change at a moment's notice. For those people who are saying, I will not shop at this business because you're opening Thanksgiving, I ask you, would you pick up the phone and call 911 if you needed police, fire, or EMS? All right. What about those guys? Do they have a choice? Do they have to work on Thanksgiving Day? Are some of these individuals being deprived the opportunity to be with family and friends because they have to work? Take your business here, for instance.
Okay.
The Postal Authority.
Yeah.
Now, Daniel, you are a local mail carrier.
I am.
And you deliver a lot of good packages come Christmas Day. Or days before Christmas is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
All right. And even though you've never delivered to my house, and I don't hold that against you, maybe you'll remember me this year.
Well, I did get a letter from you I have to give to you, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have to give it to you later.
Oh, my God. It's not certified, is it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. We're fine. It just wound up in your mailbox.
Yeah.
It does happen from time to time. But what the point I'm trying to bring up here, Daniel, is even though you have Sundays off, that's typically the mail does not get delivered on Sundays.
Yeah.
But on Sundays and holidays, including Thanksgiving and Christmas, there are people behind the scenes in the postal industry that are delivering packages, and they're making the things happen. They may be in an airplane, they may be on a truck, and these packages may be going from place to place. But this is happening while a lot of people are having Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
Okay? So the point I'm trying to make here, Daniel, is you don't want to hold that against the business. All right.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to say something. What you're talking about is essential services. Police, firemen, not so much the post office, but the post office always runs. Those kinds of things, those are essential services. Walmart being open at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day isn't essential. That's just to boost their, bottom line. And, I like the stance that REI is taking, not to throw any names out, but I like the fact that they're not open on Thanksgiving. They're not open the day after Thanksgiving because they want their employees to spend time with their families. And I think that shows that they have compassion for their workers. And I think that's great. And I mean, I think that's why some people won't shop at certain places, because they probably think that they don't treat their employees well. I mean, they're entitled to treat their employees however they want to, but some people take umbrage in that.
Well, Daniel, I do understand what you're saying here. And like I said, right from the very beginning, there are some businesses that are doing this to get the jump on the competition.
Right.
The competition is very fierce come the holidays. And Black Friday, which we know immediately follows Thanksgiving, everybody's pulling out the stops. The malls are packed. People are juggling for a parking space. It's, and I do understand that some people enjoy that type of environment. They love being around the stores. They love to see the shops. They love to see Santa Claus, the Christmas decoration, and it just draws them into the Christmas spirit. I do understand that. I don't know of too many people who go camping outside of a big box camping store, even though they do have a lot of deals that are available both in the store and online. I really want to think that a lot of those folks handle things a little more sensibly. Mm-hmm. They're going to get there to the store when they do, and chances are the item that they're looking for is going to be in stock.
Right.
And if not, it probably will be back again in a couple days. I really don't believe that a lot of these people who go shopping at Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving are doing their shopping and getting it over with in one day. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to be out there again next weekend. I think they're going to be out there again whenever they have a day off.
I think people usually buy for themselves when it's something like this, because if you're going to camp out to get that big screen TV or that computer or whatever you're hoping to get, you're probably buying it for yourself. Uh-huh. And later on, you got to figure out, well, what does my grandmother want? What does my mom want? What does my sister want? What does all that want? You're thinking about number one at first. That's my opinion.
And then there are some people who wait till the last minute.
Yep.
I know some people who will be out shopping for their loved ones on Christmas Eve right up until the time the last store closes.
That's a thrill. That's a thrill, too.
You do that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, Daniel, I've got a Christmas list put together.
Okay.
I can give you some hints. I'll do that after the show.
Okay.
All right. Whether I'm going to get coal in my stocking or I'm going to get a new tent this year, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But anyway, it's great having you back in the studio again. You were off last week, and I, on the other hand, went camping last weekend.
You did?
Daniel, have you seen some of the pictures?
I haven't. Are they on the site yet?
Let me tell you something. The very first picture I posted was me in my Bass Pro recliner.
Oh, yeah. We went there. We went there a couple weeks ago and we couldn't find it. We came over like, hey, Skip, where do we get this world famous camping chair? And you're like, oh, you got to order that online.
I've had it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, evidently the all the good stuff's online, and I heard that you bought another one for a certain someone.
Oh, she already told you?
Oh, I saw the picture.
Uh-huh.
She's got a Florida Gators recliner like yours.
Her
That
birthday
looks nice.
is coming up tomorrow.
Oh.
All right. And it just so happened. And this is, Daniel, this is my luck as I have it. I go away on a camping trip. I get home bright and early in the morning. I load the gear into the truck. I've already done my camp shopping. I've done everything, so it takes me less than 30 minutes to have everything loaded up and me on the road. I was no more than an hour and a half into my trip when I got a text message, "You've got a package," that was just delivered UPS.
Right.
And guess what? It was her birthday present.
Oh, how nice.
And then another package came in FedEx.
Uh-huh.
Notice I didn't mention the Postal Authority.
It's okay, Skip. I'll survive.
All right. It was the hose that attaches from my brand new tent heater to a 20-pound propane tank. I was hoping it was going to get here beforehand.
Oh.
But I went ahead and I took my little propane-powered heater along with me. And just to be safe, I made sure I had plenty of 1-pound propane tanks.
Right.
And that tent heater, Daniel, it did me justice, because when I got up there, in fact, long before I got up there, a freeze warning came out for North Georgia. And the temperatures dropped down to freezing both nights. And I was as snug as a bug in a rug inside my tent. The only downside I had with it, Daniel, was the fact that I had to get up every 3 hours to change out the 1-pound propane tanks.
Wow.
No big deal, though. But,
okay.
you know, when it starts to cool off in the tent, and even though you're zipped up in your sleeping bag, you'll get the notice. You'll figure it out real quick. Hey, it's getting cold in here. Time to change out the tank. I would have loved to have brought my 20-pound tank and that hose up there.
There you go.
But you can't have everything. Next year, next trip, hey, it's going to work out just fine. We have joining us on the show today, Gary Sizer. Gary is joining us by Source Connect. Gary, how are you? Oh my!
Uh-oh. I think he's.
Sorry, Skip. I had to.
Oh my
had
heavens!
to fight through a flock of turkeys to get here.
Daniel, I think I really believe.
Oh my gosh!
I really believe he's dreaming he was back on the Appalachian Trail.
And
yeah. Gary, speaking of the Appalachian Trail, I passed it on the way up there. And I did to see a couple folks that kind of made me think about you, because they had their walking canes or sticks or whatever you want to call them, and they had their big knapsacks on, and I think they were just passing on through.
Crazy big bushy beards and like cartoon wiggly stink lines coming.
No, actually
they weren't through hikers.
No, Gary, the one person, and I really should take this back. because the one person I did see was off the trail walking along the road, and I'm thinking one of two things: either he's heading to town for a bite to eat, or he's giving up. And I know that's not you.
90% sure they were heading for town.
How far is
You didn't pick up.
Hiawassee from the trail?
It's a few miles. It's long
is
enough
it?
that you either need to hitchhike or
Yeah,
or shuttle.
Daniel, I'm thinking from the Appalachian Trail is almost at the border of Towns County and Rabun County.
Okay.
And if they are heading into Hiawassee, they're looking at least a 7-mile hike.
Okay.
Because I've clocked it on
that's
my
like a
odometer
full
one
day
time.
of walking if you
Blech.
don't come out.
See, years ago, I was not prepared, and I had to go into town for things. Now, I pack everything, and I get to camp, and the only time I'm going to be leaving camp is when I'm breaking camp to go home. Anyway, Gary, hey, glad to have you back on the show. Are you ready for
thanks.
your
I'm glad
Are
to
you
be
ready
here.
for your next trip?
I am, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Always ready to go.
All right, and definitely you're going to be carrying your phone and whatever you have with you, so you can stay in touch with the show. But anyway, I understand your book is now done.
Yes, sir. It is. As of 2 weeks ago, we finally published this thing.
Okay, and how long did it take you from the time you got home before you finally had it all ready to go to publish?
Well, let's see. I got back from the trail in October of last year. I needed a little bit of time to recover physically. My body was a little beat up after that. So I didn't really start until about Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas through November, 10 months or so of writing, editing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I missed you guys. I missed everyone, actually. I was kind of in the isolation booth for that 10 months.
Oh, Gary, you could have come on over here. I've got one in the studio.
Well, maybe we can talk about doing the audio version.
That's a possibility. Come on down. You're always welcome to use the studio.
Awesome.
So, Gary, how is the book itself? Where can folks, first of all, go to purchase a copy of your book?
Well, of course, they can go to Amazon and the Kindle store. Just type in either Gary Sizer or the title, Where's the Next Shelter? It's starting to show up near the top of search results. So if you search for Appalachian Trail or hiking, you might find it. But go to Amazon, look for Where's the Next Shelter. And also, if you don't mind, I have on my website, where'sthenextshelter.com, there's a link that will allow people to buy the paperback at a discounted price.
Just in time for Black Friday.
Yes.
Hey, Gary.
You're going to need something to read while you're sitting at home not shopping, right?
There you go.
I knew this day was coming, and I deliberately kept that picture on our homepage where you and a couple of your fellow hikers that you had been in close contact with all along the trail. You finally reached your trail end, and you were up there, and from the way you were dressed, I knew it was cold. But you still had that bottle of champagne. There were some balloons, and you finally reached your destination. And I believe the link is still there. If not, I will definitely put it back. Where'sthenextshelter.com to find out information about your book and information about your journey in general.
Yeah, that's a great picture. And that day really was cold. It was cold enough that bottle of champagne, when we opened it, it didn't pop and fizz. It just kind of went. The cork came out and it was slush.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
it was below freezing.
Hey,
for
one
sure.
of the questions I wanted to ask you, from the location where that picture was taken, how far down the hillside was it to the car that you had to hike back down?
5.2 miles and roughly 5,000 feet of elevation change.
Oh, my
Wow.
That was
heavens.
a vertical mile above the car.
Wow, because and the reason I ask this is because I remember seeing some of the pictures of, it was either you or some others hiking to the very top of that point. And I'm saying to myself, wow, being as
What you're
cold as they
thinking of
are.
there is, that's Mount Katahdin, which
Okay.
is the last mountain on the Appalachian Trail. It's up in northern Maine in Baxter State Park.
That's gotta be interesting.
It is, without a doubt, the most technically challenging climb on the entire hike. There are places where there are sheer rock walls that have rebar pounded into them to make kind of a makeshift ladder to help you get up. There's places where it actually becomes dangerous.
I can only imagine right now. I'm sure parts of the trail are probably closed off this time of the year, are they not?
Oh, for sure. Yep. They closed Baxter State Park in the middle of October. there's probably 8 feet of snow on the ground up there right now.
But last
Not
week as
exaggerating.
I was driving to my camping destination in Hiawassee, that I go to each and every year, and hey, remarkably, we had about 11 folks show up for our November camp out, which is our big camping trip, incidentally.
That's a
And
good turnout.
Gary, we're going to be going camping up there in March. If you want to come join us, you might inspire Daniel to come along.
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, we have a great time there, and if all goes well, I'm hoping to go up there for about a week. But I remember
sounds like fun.
traveling past this area on Highway 76 up there, which is where the Appalachian Trail crosses the interstate, or the highway, should I say. And there must have been about 20 or 30 cars parked there. Now, I can only assume that some of these people are there just for a day hike. Am I correct?
Probably most of them, if they've got cars there.
Yeah, because I
Some people
don't think.
do like to leave their cars and come back to them 3 days later or so. But yeah, that's usually short-term stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a couple different places along the trail. I know there's one area from Helen to Hiawassee, but this time I came in another direction. I went that way on the way home, but on coming up, I went straight into Clayton, and I came across heading toward Hiawassee to the campsite. But that's where I crossed the Appalachian Trail at that particular point, and I've never seen that many cars parked at the trail as many times since I've been up there, and I've been camping up there 20-some-odd years.
Well, you should have pulled into the parking lot and walked on the trail for a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember
let's make you a little
crossing.
hiker, Skip.
I remember crossing that trail many years ago when I was hunting, and I says, "Nope, I don't really need to be here," and I turned around and went the other way. Of course, I don't hunt no more. I'm too old for that, and I've got a love for animals that I couldn't hurt a hair on an animal's head no matter what.
I like to shoot them with my camera.
Hey, that's the best weapon to use if you're going to be shooting an animal, is use your camera, because you could take some really, really wonderful pictures. And there's a lot of great wildlife up there. But it was a great time. I've had a great weekend. I'm glad to be back. It's a little difficult each and every time putting everything back where you found it in the garage. I still have stuff I've got to put in the storeroom for my next camping trip, but I'm going to work on that.
I just never put it away.
So, Daniel, you were reading Gary's book. I haven't gotten that far yet, but tell us what you're enjoying about it.
I'm just enjoying, it's all about, the experience. It's all about today. What has today having stored for me? I did this. I did this. I did this. I saw this. I did this. We talked. We joked. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of like Lord of the Rings, where they're marching to Mordor, but it's not that serious. They're just kind of doing it, and it's awesome. That's the way I'm envisioning it.
Well, I did, Gary, expect Daniel to be one of the very first people to lay his hands on your book. I'm sure I'm going to be hearing until I get a copy and have the time to sit down and enjoy it, which I will. I know I'm going to be hearing a lot about it, and a lot of the good key points of your entire journey. And that lasted, what, 5.5 months?
1 day shy of 5 months.
Okay.
Dang, that was
153
fast.
days.
Uh-huh.
And Daniel paid me a very kind compliment earlier this morning. We were talking. He said that as he was reading, he felt like he could hear my voice in his head, like I was right there with him.
Every time
he said, until he started reading in the bathroom.
No, well, here's the deal. Here's the deal for everyone else. Like, so I have the Kindle app on my phone, and I have the Kindle app on my iPad. So, I downloaded it a couple days ago, and, I'd go in the bathroom, I'd read for about 5 minutes. Then it'd be like late at night, and I couldn't sleep, but let me read some more. And then I read, and I'd hear his head, and then I'd have dreams about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I was right there in spirit as he's walking along the Appalachian Trail, and I'm just so pumped to get out there and walk anywhere now. It's killing me to be here and not out there.
Daniel, you put the biggest smile on my face.
Gary, I hope you take some time to enjoy the holidays and get a little bit of rest, because I do know that you're really ambitious. You're into the outdoors probably more than Daniel and I combined, and I have no question in my mind you're ready to get out there again and take on your next journey. And I'm sure it's going to be just as exciting, if not more, than your trip on the Appalachian Trail.
Well, I hope so too. I've got some big things in mind. There are 2 more long trails in the United States. The Pacific Crest Trail out west, and there's one called the Continental Divide Trail. It's about 1,000 miles longer than the AT. It goes from Mexico to Canada, and yeah, I want to hit each of those next. Write a book about each, and my wife's on board for the next one too.
Oh, cool.
She's going with you?
She wants to.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, that'll work. And you could proudly say
I
that...
need somebody to carry my 20-pound propane tank.
There you go. There you go.
And you do want her to go along with you, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Gary, I tell you what, anybody that's interested in hiking the Appalachian Trail and doing it from start to finish needs to understand what's involved, and I'm sure that your book explains a lot of that. You've got a lot of great pictures there for folks to take a look at. There's a lot of information there, valuable information, including the tour of your journey and your experience coming from a personal standpoint and being able to explain to people, here's what I saw, here's what we did, here's some of the challenges and everything that goes along with it. But Gary, hey, I want to thank you again for being on the program today. And again, anybody that's interested in getting a copy of Gary's book, you can find it on Amazon.com, and you can also hear some of Gary's original journey by going to our homepage, happycamperradio.com, and clicking on the podcast episodes, because there have been a number of times we had Gary on the show when he was in areas that he was able to get a cell phone signal and be able to call in here to the program. We enjoyed having him on the program. We enjoy having you now. Gary, hey, thank you so much for being on the program.
So much fun. Thank you for having this program, Skip.
Well, thank you so very much. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Yep.
Okay, Daniel, this week we are going to go to the state of Arizona.
Arizona. I was just there not too long ago.
Yeah, but you were not at the Manzanita, Arizona campsite.
No, I was at the Grand Canyon.
This one right here, Daniel, is open year-round. The Manzanita campground is a very small year-round. It's a tent-only facility, Daniel.
Boo.
So you got to bring your tent with you. And the campsites fill up very, very quickly. The visitors can enjoy the campground for its fishing, swimming holes along the Oak Creek, beautiful scenery, and beautiful wildlife watching. Recreation and relaxation abound. The Oak Creek Canyon, camping, fishing, swimming, hiking, wading, and a lot of other activities are waiting for each and every visitors who come out there. Anglers have the convenience of creekside campsites where they can cast a line for trout. Just make sure you go ahead and find out what you need to do to get your out-of-state fishing license if you are an out-of-state resident, because we don't want you to get into any trouble while you're out there. Activities and amenities include accessible pit toilets, campground or campfire rings, creek access, drinking water, firewood, fishing, a campground host, pay telephones. I bet you they don't have cell phone service out there, but who knows? Trash collection, swimming, you name it. Check out some of the things you need to know before you go. Also, remember, don't move firewood. Prevent the spread of tree-killing pests by obtaining firewood at your destination. For more information, you can find it on our homepage at www.happycamperradio.com. It's going to be there all this week under the Featured Campground tab. It's the Manzanita Campground in Arizona, and it is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And, of course, if you have a campground that you would like for us to feature on the program, by all means, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com, and make sure you include a link to the campground website. Well, Daniel, that's about all the time I've got, about all the time you've got.
Oh, I got all the time.
Yeah, and by next week at this time, you're going to be loading them heavy packages onto your mail truck.
It's already started, Skip.
Well,
It's already
Daniel,
started.
hey, we are still going to see you from time to time to do the show.
Yep.
Okay, between now and Christmas.
Oh, definitely.
All right, so I'm going to be looking forward to having you on over here.
Okay.
And we're going to be looking forward to having you join us for our next episode. Don't forget you can catch us online anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, add us to Circles on Google+, and now subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper. So is Gary. And you, my friends, can be a happy camper too. Catch you next week. You're listening to Happy Camper.